That was Studies in Articulation number 10 for the 7th grade CODA audition music for the tuba. With this one, what I like to think of with articulation, especially when we see staccato articulations through 16th notes, is and I talked about this in a previous video, you know, we often think short with staccatos. That's kind of the generic term we use, especially when, you know, explaining it to 50 beginning students, or beginner students rather. But, and it's true, you do want to play them shorter, but we really want to think light. And I think if we try to play 16th notes short, we're going to get that very chippy and not get the resonance that we want. Because again, if we're focusing on the syllables that we use, again, whether it's do, da, to, ta, I'm not in the business of, I guess I am, but I'm not in the business of telling you what you individually need to do. But whether it's do or da, I use da throughout a lot of these. You know, I really want to focus on that AH syllable. Da, 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 da. That's what's going to give me that bounciness. And as you start to speed it up, you're really not going to be able to tell, per se, if somebody's playing staccato versus a regular articulation. The idea behind it is we want to get that lift, we want to get that bounce, we don't want it to be heavy, we don't want it to be connected, we want that nice, light, lifted articulation. From there, we really want to make sure that we are playing with our best possible sound. It's very easy to get very thin and very tight when we're really focused on articulation, especially since there are some larger jumps in here. You know, going from a G at the bottom of the staff to the E flat in the staff, you know, for a lot of beginners, that's a pretty big jump. So we tend to want to tense up and really try to squeeze it out. Stay relaxed, let the air do the work for you. Higher notes, we just need to think faster air with a small aperture, and if you can hear that pitch in your head, I guarantee you're going to hit it a lot more than you're not going to hit it, okay? And then from there, obviously we want to make sure that when we do have accents, primarily on those E flats, that we're not just hammering them, okay? Accents don't necessarily mean we want to make them a bajillion times louder. We do maybe want to give a slight nudge at the front, obviously with a little bit of decay to create the accent articulation, but I have had a lot of young players come in and just want to just beat the living daylights out of that note. Again, we want to stay relaxed. We want to keep it within the dynamic range that we're playing in. And if we just focus on great air and clear articulation, that's going to speak a lot more than it doesn't. As always, you know, make sure you pick a comfortable tempo to start with. Obviously, definitely get your metronome going, get the 16th note subdivision going. You know, especially as young tuba players, we see 16 notes and we tend to freak out. Again, if you just take it slow and gradually work your way up, all of a sudden you're going to go from going boom, 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 boom to boom, 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 boom before you know it, okay? So take it slow, get comfortable with the syllables that you want to use, obviously getting comfortable with the fingers that we need for the notes, and then gradually start to speed up. And as always, thank you for watching and happy practicing.